It's back day, starting with Baby Yoda, apparently. I'm watching The Mandalorian as I run. It's a normal process for me to run on the treadmill, watching The Mandalorian or some other show. It just helps me to put in the time, doing cardio. I don't really like a lot of other cardio, so running is pretty easy. During the nicer years when we don't have some virus that's causing people to cancel all the races, I like to do mud runs and Tough Mudder, that kind of thing. Every day I try to do a little bit of cardio. I don't try to overdo it. I'm not trying to get like busted up knees or anything, but I'll run a couple miles, and that's enough. Burns off about 300 calories, I think, in about 30 minutes, and that just helps because my overall daily calorie intake is right around 2,100. That'll keep me about the same weight that I'm at. And I've got a little bit of fat to lose, so I'm okay with not gaining any fat or muscle or anything. If I can gain some muscle, that's always nice, but if I have to do it and also become a big giant fat guy, that's not exactly my goal. I do want to become very strong, and I want to get stronger than I currently am. So cardio is an important part of everybody's, balanced breakfast, and it's fairly boring to watch. So I don't think I did this for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to move over to the next phase, which is pull-ups. So this is a back day, and I'm going to do my back in basically 3 different phases. So right now, this is the overhead work, pull downs. I used to do like a lot of lat pull downs, and then I can do those fine, but doing pull-ups is, I don't know why, I just like it better. And I have that pull-up bar, has lots of different hand positions. I like to use kind of all of them. Hey, while I'm doing these pull-ups, the reason I'm wearing a tank top, the reason I kind of have added a lot more tank tops into my workout clothes is because they last longer. They just don't end up smelling as bad. I'm not trying to impress anybody, although I do like it when my wife walks down because she notices how my back muscles are rippling or something. So that's kind of cool. Got to keep her from, getting interested in other fellers. So after I do 2 sets of unweighted pull-ups, and I switch over to the weighted pull-ups, I'm going to try to get out as many repetitions as I can. And I'm competing with my last week, or my last time that I did this. I always compete with a number. This week I beat my number, which makes me happy. And if you're wondering if I'm occasionally hitting my head on the ceiling, I am. Just don't have enough head clearance to get a really easy pull-up in, so I have to kind of be careful. But if I hit the brim of my head on the ceiling, that doesn't hurt anything. But I've knocked my skull a couple times. Oh, right there. I don't know if that one counted. I think I did count it because I'm a cheater. So by the way, I think I should let anybody who happens to come across this video know that I am not the inventor of workouts. And I rely heavily on my online trainers who I don't pay anything for, but I watch their videos frequently. Greg Doucette is one. He's more funny. Massive Iron, Steve Shaw is another one. I've actually bought a couple of his programs and a book of his called Massive Iron. And Mark Rippletoe. Mark Rippletoe is the one that probably got me started, but I hear a lot of people like to kind of trash on him a little bit. He's kind of a big guy. He says to drink a gallon of milk every day. Luckily for me, I'm lactose intolerant, so I never gave that a try. So this is my last set on pull-ups. I actually did 9 sets, but I just put a couple in here. And I just see where I'm at the end. I couldn't do as many as I could at the beginning, so I feel good. And my back was pretty sore. Okay, here's my total volume added. Who cares about that one? The next one, though, is the best sets. and 18. So you can see back in October I did more than that, but 18 is the most on average that I do normally. And then the total reps, again, was a little bit better. So now this is the worst camera angle I could think of, not on purpose, just because I was hoping that the camera would go down on my back and you'd see my back muscles a little bit more as I'm doing these rows, but you're seeing, well, my butt. So anyways, I was getting a really good squeeze out of this. I was feeling this really nicely in my lower back, right there in the middle, by the spine. And I don't normally feel it as much, but what I was doing was switching. Steve Shaw has a video and he's talking about dumbbell rows, and he does them kind of more like a pendulum row, where he lets the weight all actually hit the ground. This is the kind of stuff that would get you kicked out of a commercial gym, like Planet Fitness, or probably only Planet Fitness. I've never heard of anybody else doing this, where if you make noise, they kick you out. So you can see I'm pulling it up all the way to my chest, and I am controlling it on the way down, but it is going all the way down. And what that does is it makes it so it's like a deadlift. I'm lifting the entire amount of weight. There's no momentum. There's no springing action. And I also used a heavier weight. And last time I did this exact workout, I was using 65s. And I only have 65. And then the next weight I have is 100 for dumbbells. Hopefully Santa will bring me something in between those two numbers. But for right now, that's what I got. But I feel like I'm going to continue with using hundreds, and I might even think about getting 110, but not until probably March or so. But you can see that I'm bringing it all the way up. I'm not cheating. Well, I don't think I'm cheating. Maybe somebody will watch this video and tell me that I am, and then I'll correct that. So there's Steve Shaw, Mark Rippletoe, Greg Doucette, Alan Thrall, don't forget about him. He's got the Trained Untamed thing. The guy's a genius. Athlean X, although Athlean X and Ryan Humiston, I do watch them. They're really good for those auxiliary lifts, and I don't think they focus as much on the big lifts. I like to focus on the big lifts a little bit more. I'm not in this workout, but the big lifts are the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, overhead press, and then some sort of a barbell or dumbbell row would be fine. So this would be qualify, I suppose. I used to work out 3 days a week, and I just broke those five lifts up over those 3 days. Usually I do the squats every day on the 3 days a week, and then I would do the other ones, kind of move them around a bit, sometimes two, sometimes once. And I found that I was having a hard time I got bored. So I redesigned my workout and made it a 7-day rotation. So I still do squats usually 3 days a week, and I usually do deadlifts once a week, every week, never more than once a week usually. But I do some other variation of a deadlift on my leg day. So that's fine, because I'm really going on the deadlifts. I'm really trying to put on as much weight as I possibly can. For the past few weeks I have not been, but I'll be there soon where I'll be trying to hit some new PRs. And I do a little more focus on, having an arm day, So having 7 days a week, I can take a break. If I need to take a day off, I can take a day off. I don't get mad at myself about it, but I also can work 7 days straight through, and then 7 days straight through, no big deal. That's the way I like to work out. As far as like dieting goes, over there in the right, you can see that there's a little refrigerator. So that's got my meals. I make, for the past couple of weeks, I bought a cow. So I've been cooking up just like a beef stew. I put it in the crock pot, and then I just threw in a big old log of meat, and then as many carrots, onions, and potatoes, chopped up that I can fit. I try to make it spoon size so I can easily eat it out of the containers, and then I just package them up, and that's usually good for a week. And then on any days I want something different, I have big things of cottage cheese. And what I do is I think it's something like 11 ounces of cottage cheese in a container, and I'll eat the entire container, and then I mix half of a can of those cranberries, either the jellied ones or the ones that have the actual cranberries in there are my favorite. Sometimes I'll use applesauce as well, and then I will use a few less cranberries and just add applesauce. It's a good meal, and when I eat that particular meal, I'm full. So I do this last little portion of this set of dumbbell rows, and then I'm going to do incline rows. So you see I did the overhead work, I'm doing the straight forward work, and then next I'm going to be doing an incline dumbbell rows. I'll be using lighter weight on those. And just think about the position of your arm in your back compared to your back, and how that's going to hit your muscles differently. Look at that, my little helper shows up. So on this particular day, I was going to be Santa Claus and read some letters to kids who gave me their letters when we had I was Santa a couple weeks ago at a Let It Glow thing in Elkhorn, the kind of a drive-by Santa thing. We had something around 1,300 or 1,500 cars. A lot of those cars had 6 kids in there. Sometimes it was only one, but there's a lot of kids in those cars, and a lot of them had letters. I said, well, it doesn't actually seem right for us to throw them away. Hey, there's my wife and my daughter again. And so I said, well, why don't we just do a Facebook Live, and I'll read those letters online. I don't know how it went. I think kind of went. I was a little dorky, but whatever. Yeah, I bet the kids who saw their letters being read by Santa thought that was pretty special. So this is the end of my workout here, and let's take a look. So 9 reps, 9 sets of pull-ups, bent over one arm rows. We got 3 sets on these. Good luck. Thanks. Do it.